Let's talk about crypto and the metaverse here on One Up Podcasting. A couple of stories caught my attention. Bitcoin, a lifeline for sex workers. A nurse has actually made $1.3 million last year. By the way, I saw a TikTok today of a young lady. I don't know her name, but I remember just seeing that she got her tax information. And she made $211,000 last year on OnlyFans. Let me repeat that. $211,000. I'm speechless. And I worked my ass off. And that's that's more than 4 times of what I make every year. I don't even know what to say about that. But sex sells. If you're pretty, she's a pretty girl. Brunette, dark eyes, just $211,000. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. I just don't get it. Anyways, Bitcoin has become a lifeline for sex workers. And in the CNBC article I'm taking from, they make mention that regulations and bank policies designed to combat sex trafficking have made it harder for sex workers and adult entertainers to practice their trade. And now they've turned to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to accept payment for products and services to protect their funds. And CNBC spoke with a half dozen sex workers explaining the role cryptocurrency is playing in the industry. So one girl is Allie Eve Knox. She sells subscription services on OnlyFans live via webcam and works as a FinDom. If you don't know, that's a fetish involving dominance, submission, dynamics, and cash. Just look up simp and look up FinDom and look up PayPig. You'll know what we're talking about. So she's a big advocate of cryptocurrency. Now, she was interested first off in 2014 when she says several vendors, including PayPal, Square Cash, and Venmo, shut down her accounts because of red flags related to sex work. So Knox started accepting cryptocurrencies instead. Her first exchange of Bitcoin for content was pretty casual. She got on Skype with a client and said, I had a Coinbase account at the time. He said, hold your QR code right to this camera here, and he sent it to the camera, and I got it. Took 15 minutes, no chargebacks, no website commission fees, no bank intermediaries to turn down a transaction, all major pluses. And she was having total and irreversible ownership of the money she earned. She was an entrepreneur, just like that. Christian D'Angelo, an activist and Sacramento-based sex worker who spent over 4 years in the adult industry, she says that, quote, the majority of sex work in the U.S. is legal. It's not dealt with fairly, but it's still legal. Stripping is legal. Massage is legal. Escorting is legal. The only thing that's really illegal is the honest exchange of sexual activity for remuneration, for money. So now, escorts, they say, who charge anywhere from $1,700 an hour to $11,000 for a full 24-hour session. Wow. $11,000. They now explicitly say in their ads they prefer to be paid in Bitcoin or Ethereum. What? And the sex work industry also includes performers on OnlyFans who work exclusively online and have never seen their subscribers or fans in person. Another girl, Allie Ray, 37-year-old mother of 3 boys, went from making $84,000 a year as an ICU nurse in Boston to $1.3 million thanks to her work on OnlyFans. She has 130 million users. Beautiful girl, obviously. Now, she got into this, and she was afraid about where OnlyFans went because it was a point, remember, during the pandemic where they were going to shut down explicitly sexual content, but then they reversed their course. And that was because of the issue with payment structures, which we know that adult sites are also taking Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, not just cash. Because, of course, if they're not able to get credit cards processed, they'll use Bitcoin. They'll use crypto to take care of things anyway at some point. Now, Ray, by December of last year, she'd gone from Bitcoin novice and OnlyFans ingenue to an adult content entrepreneur speaking fluent crypto. And really the point is now adult content creators have now jumped on the NFT bandwagon, or non-fungible tokens. She sold photos of herself as NFTs on OpenSea.io, and it's like, an auction house. And Spank Chain's custom NFT marketplace. She's gotten from a single sale $1,200 worth of Ethereum. $1,200? And remember, so $1,200 worth of Ethereum right now, and on the current market, Ethereum is what? Almost $3,000, between like $2,700 and $3,000. So yeah, add that up. $250,000 in value in Ethereum. Crazy. Now there's that part that just really fascinated me, and seeing where everything now is, that there's so much right now. And that's where some girls are doing right now. They're trying to get themselves in front, and that's what they have to do. Now, the other thing, too, they mentioned here in the story is that for many sex workers, Bitcoin is more of a way to reclaim financial independence. In 2018, there was the FOSTA SESTA Act, the Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act, or Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act, meaning owners of websites could face criminal charges for content promoted trafficking. That created the end of Backpage. That made Craigslist stop putting up personal ads. Everything changed. But the net effect of the law was to drive the trade further underground into the black market. Workers lost the ability to pre-screen clients, and many in the industry said it's led to a spike in street work and violence, and also turned Bitcoin into a necessity for many escorts. Popular escort directors like Slixa and Eros tell CNBC that the platforms encourage payment in cryptocurrencies within the U.S. And one industry vet says typical ads cost $480 worth of Bitcoin for 2 weeks. Remember, Backpage actually was one of the very first sites to use Bitcoin for payment, and then that all got done. Like at the end of the run, they did that. Funny. But there we go. And I keep seeing pictures of Ali Eve or Ali Ray here in this, and I'm like, hey, good for these girls. They found a way to get themselves somewhere to accept, and, you can't stop entrepreneurship. You can't stop all this going on. So it's the Wild West now is in Bitcoin and the Metaverse. So an NFT marketplace CEO actually talked about how he bought a $1.2 billion plot of Metaverse land as the first digital gentrification ramps up. Bought land in the Metaverse for $1.2 million. Bought Metaverse land. Okay. Portion CEO Jason Rosenstein told Business Insider about his company's acquisition in Decentraland. And the virtual real estate includes an entire district that is close to a road with heavy foot traffic. Now, Portion, much like OpenSea, is an NFT auction house and marketplace, purchasing a $1.2 million plot of virtual real estate last month. And the company's CEO believes property values and market trends in the metaverse mirror those in the physical world. The company paid $425,000 mana, worth about $1.2 million at the time, for the Portion district in Decentraland. Now, Rosenstein told Insider that while the metaverse is super experimental, he remains optimistic on the purchase. He selected a 52-parcel plot in Decentraland because it was next to a road and a major plaza where other brands were buying land. And they said you want to be as close to the center of Decentraland as possible. And when you want to get into digital land, he recommends starting small and double-checking that your audience will take to the metaverse space. It's not for everyone. Now, he had already received free land in the Central Lands Arts District and debuted a 7th-floor virtual museum in Decentraland featuring a broad array of NFT artwork. This is crazy. And I don't even know where to go with this. But NFTs, it's becoming such a thing so quickly. And by the way, there's even the thing where they're talking about in New York social clubs. NFTs are now your ticket to get in. That's your token to get into particular venues. How about that? Atari, the game publisher, actually bought for $4.3 million land in the Sandbox metaverse, and the Metaverse Group paid $2.43 million in Decentraland as well. So, yeah, they're building. And I mean, I don't know how long it takes for all the building up to get done, but this is quite fascinating. A metaverse land rush and Bitcoin saving sex workers. I've heard it all now. And we'll continue to follow these stories right here on One of My Podcasting. And I'll talk to you next time.